The Secret Mental Technique 6. Self-study using our conscious mind must become a habit, permanent, that we have to learn to enjoy, because we are going to carry it out almost constantly for the rest of our lives. Anytime, anywhere, we can be studying ourselves with questions, what chain of thoughts we are generating, what feelings, and check the emotions that we are manufacturing, many times without realizing it. Our approach should focus on our thoughts, because we can't do much directly with our feelings, although we can modify them indirectly through our thoughts. We have to become experts in interrupting our chains of toxic thoughts and replacing them by chains of constructive thoughts. It takes a lot of practice and effort at first, but it's something that once learned will start generating profits for the rest of our lives. Self-study is a process deeply revealing. First, we found that I had much of the time in a state intermediate between half awake and half asleep, and trapped them in our imagination. We have been doing it throughout our lives. We are already experts in work with our daily work on that state. Subsequently, discovered how our emotions grow and they take over of the control of our thoughts and behaviors. But it's surprising how feelings seemingly insignificant can alter radically our personalities. Only this question gives rise to place to the study of many other phenomena, as when our essence is controlled because of our personality. And this is why what is done, our personality, very vulnerable to our emotions. At this stage, now we have to focus in the self-study of our behaviors every day, chiefly those influenced by our thoughts, to discover how we justify ourselves, each of our most important behaviors, ourselves. We frequently use certain narratives to justify behaviors that must be unjustifiable. After the approach of being in our feelings, find its origin and determine what thoughts we assign them and under what circumstances. Another key component of our self-study is discovering why humans have become generating machines of lies. manufacture all kinds of lies, chiefly to deceive ourselves and everyone with whom we come into contact. Here again, it is very beneficial to identify the explanations that we give to ourselves to continue creating, counting, and believing in all types of our lives. In these aspects, it's amazing when we discover that being alone, fewer liars, mainly with ourselves, almost immediately we start generating a whole host of benefits. Then the short, medium, and long term. Our lives consume industrial quantities of time and energy because first we have to design them, after modify to the prevailing context, and chiefly justify them under each of the environments in those of us who use them. And as these contexts are changing more and more quickly, this is how these needs are growing. It's very difficult to establish and maintain fruitful relationships between false people, especially when teamwork has become a fundamental process for our personal development. The best work as a team we can get is the one between all our powers and internal functions. When we live deceiving ourselves, we're creating devastating pugness between our conscious mind and the subconscious. Avoid at all costs these nefarious fights between these two minds is all a priority. With the simple fact that let's be 10% less liars, we can interrupt various series of the disastrous ravages that often are producing these conflicts for us. This also lays the groundwork for future teamwork that its results give us. They will surprise us as we have never been surprised. For example, we never remember to use to our conscious mind because our subconscious mind, it is responsible for keeping us dumbfounded. It's as if someone almost permanently is convincing us to use the Toyota Corolla instead of the Ferrari. With our self-study, it's important to discover what paradigms we use to generate the narratives that we are using to justify our lies. For example, we feel the need to tell him lies to our children to generate a supposed respect and a supposed admiration. Only the paragraph, Amen, only the paradigm that with lies we can generate admiration and respect is totally wrong. Including when we do it is only temporary, since it is indisputable that in the long run it only results, on the contrary, in loss of respect and admiration. the disastrous consequences of use of these false paradigms, but they go much further. When we study our traumas, we find that many of them come from lies that our parents told us and family. There is no doubt that reaching levels of honesty higher and higher produce benefits that today are inconceivable because they are reflected chiefly in the power of our mental processes. This is the true explanation why some people are much more successful than others. Returning to the Harvard experiment of the summer camp that check that our environments shape our personality. For this reason, we have to discover which context they promote our lies. Especially, we have to focus on the lies that we say to ourselves. For example, in terms of our capabilities and commitments, many of us, we make sure to we ourselves who at any time we can stop drinking alcohol, but we've never done it consistently. If we believe that we, with the capacity that we have never put into practice regularly, it is a fact that we do not have it. When we no longer comply with half of the commitments that we do with ourselves, it implies that we have lost a great important part of our willpower. When we have already deceived with some frequency our friends too, our partner, our parents and family members already, we are some liars impedernil. We must not forget that the first step to solve any problem is to identify it and accept. And only this represents more than half of the solution of this problem. The deeper you go, we detect it and we accept it, and the faster we solve it. And if we carry out this process with our conscious mind, we will detect the way in which we began to produce true miracles in our life. Don't forget to sign up in the Club of Secret Mental Techniques. Email us at lastecnicasecretas.com with your name, country of origin, and email. There, we will be sharing with experts, PhDs in quantum physics, and supporting each other. See you in the next program.